Hey everybody, Professor G here. I just wanted to do a quick tutorial on the dating system that we're going to use in this class. This is a common standard dating system that you're going to find in your textbook. You're going to find it when you read the articles that we're going to discuss. And so I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page as far as how exactly this works. I know it can get a bit confusing at times. It even confuses me at times. So you have the standard timeline of history, okay, which for us in the West is divided at year zero, which was traditionally taken to be the birth of Christ, the birth of Jesus of Nazareth, which you can read about, and if this is ancient history, which we will read about in the New Testament. So it's divided year zero. Everything that happened before zero is what we call BC, which means before Christ, or if you want to be more politically correct, BCE, which stands for before Common Era. Right? In this class I'll be using BC just because that's what I used growing up and how I was taught it. But you're more than welcome to use either dating system for either one of these. So BC or BCE is what happened before year zero. All right? What happens after year zero is referred to as AD, which stands for after death. AD, after the death of Christ. Or technically it's Latin for year of our Lord, but none of that's important. Or ACE, after Common Era. Okay, so BC before zero, AD after zero. All right, but it's you also got some other aspects in there that I want to talk about. So let's say that we're talking about Greek philosophy, and I say that the Greek philosopher Plato lived in the 4th century BC. 4th century BC. So this is the 4th century BC, before zero. Right? What dates am I talking about? So this is where it gets a bit confusing, right? Before zero, we count down. So this is the 5th century, 4th century, 3rd century. You get the drift, going to zero. After zero, we go up. 1st century, 2nd century, so on, all the way to where we're currently living, the 21st century. Now, when I say 4th century BC, what I'm talking about is from the year 399 to 300. So he lived somewhere in this time period. So 4th century is the year 399 BC to the year 300 BC. Now, if I'm talking about the ADs, so if I said that, for example, let's say that St. Paul lived in the 2nd century AD. Paul of Tarsus, who wrote some of the books in the New Testament. Right? So Paul lived in the 2nd century AD. What I'm saying here is that he lived in this time period from 100 AD to 199 AD. Right? So the 2nd century is from the year 100 to 199. 3rd century would be from 200 to 299. Right? So it's a bit different there. So when I refer to, throughout this class, I'll say so-and-so lived in the 3rd century, so-and-so lived in the 4th century. Okay, this is sort of the general chronological sequence that you need to keep in your mind. You can go back and rewatch the video if you're still having problems with it, or you can email me and let me know. Anyway, hope this helps. Hope you're clear on the dates, and I'll talk to you later.